your host, Kenny Ray Jackson, here today. I'm going to be talking with my good friend Dan Halverson, who is a wonderful local musician and songwriter. And we're going to pick his brain a little bit about what his process is today and what music means to him. And thank you guys for joining us for the show that where we just like to sit down and talk with local musicians, like I said, and get an insight into what they do and what makes them tick. But before we get started, I want to do our giveaway for May for our $20 Apple Music gift card. And our winner is Mike Bulla, Mickey Bulla. I'm sorry, Mickey Bulla. You have won our $20 Apple Music gift card for May. Thank you so much for joining us. And you guys, if you tune in and comment on any of our episodes on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you'll be entered into the raffle for a monthly drawing for that same $20. Because who doesn't need $20 worth of extra music in their lives? Everybody does. Anyway, welcome, Dan. Thank you for joining us today, my friend. We are so happy to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This is groovy. This is super groovy.
It's always my pleasure. So Dan, you are a local guitarist and a songwriter, but you're also a local business owner. You own Eureka Springs or Eureka style rock walls. Is that correct? Is that?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah. I noticed there was like a niche that kind of needed to be filled. There weren't enough of us like fixing all these cool murals that are rock walls. And so, yeah, that's what I do. I love it. It's awesome.
Brilliant. Well, we see your work all around town, but we also see your musical work all around town too. I mean, you've been playing in the music scene here for quite a little bit. Since I've met you. I think the first night I met you, we were all at the Grand, and you brought over a guitar and started playing along with us, I think, when we were on break, and that was a lot of fun, and you're very talented. So tell us a little bit about your music.
Yeah, it's just, it's true Arkansas music. It's a hodgepodge of this crossroads in America that we find ourselves in. The blues coming up out of the South, all the Appalachian music coming up, out of the East, huge like Scotch-Irish influence. But, I grew up on the northwest side of Chicago. So, I mean, the House of Blues and Buddy Guy was like, the Blues Brothers is like my bread and butter. So, all of that kind of wraps up into one and kind of becomes this crossroads that is the Midwest, Arkansas, and that's kind of what I play.
Yeah, it kind of all got stuck here in the Ozarks, didn't it? I mean, when it comes down to it, it kind of all boiled together here in Eureka Springs.
Yeah, it's very groovy. Very, very groovy. Yeah.
Now you've got an interesting past musically in your family, don't you? Was it your grandfather or your great grandfather was a big band saxophone player in Chicago during the Depression era, wasn't he?
Yeah, so my grandfather, he was born in 1917, and he was like 20, I want to say, like 19 or 20, and he went to Sears and Roebuck when Sears and Roebuck was still around, and he went and bought this. It's all silver. It's called a Supertone Bandmaster alto saxophone, and when he passed away, that was my big gift. I got that, and I got his four-wheeler. So it was pretty good, kick down. And it changed my life, man. He was playing all these like, Glenn Miller and Benny Goodman, these like big band jazz swing kind of things. I got to see some black and white pictures from my grandma, which was really cool. And it just kind of happened. He passed away right when I became eligible for the band program where I was living when I was a kid. And it was like, okay, this is groovy. I'll do this. And, my dad had me hooked on Bob Seger. So, every time Main Street came on, I was like, yeah, I could play that. That'd be cool. That sax, which we just lost original Silver Bullet, alto reed, Bob Seger sax player. We just lost him last year, year before last, to colon cancer. So that was a big hit to the musical community. So alto,
Yeah.
I hope you're playing your horn in heaven, brother.
You know he is. You
Oh,
know he
dude,
is. And you're gonna
so
be playing
good.
that. Hopefully you're gonna be playing that horn here for us sometime soon. I know you're dying to get back into it. And you were talking about the band program, so and we were talking about how life changing that was um,
Yeah,
for both of us. I think as kids in
dude.
school, and kind of the discipline that it taught us, and also maybe like opened our minds and our eyes and our hearts to different kinds of music, whether it was the
Yeah.
marching or the
Oh,
big band, or the brass take on some sort of rocky theme.
yeah. No, it was
um,
what I found was really, really cool was a lot of us didn't have the greatest, household growing up. I didn't have the greatest parents. They were great providers, but they weren't great parents. So it was pretty tumultuous in my house. But when I got to get on the early bus and go to jazz band and then roll right into concert band, and then I got to go to school, those two sections of band in the morning were like, it's okay to let your freak flag fly, and I'm going to teach you how to wave that sucker real good. And it was
nice.
beautiful because I got better at math. I gained self-confidence. It was this place of just safety and knowledge, all like wrapped up into this boogie and little wholesome. You know what I mean? And it was like, what a great way to start your day. It was, yeah, yeah.
Did I
It changed my life
absolutely
for
agree with
sure.
you. And it did the same thing for me. It was, and there was a stigma, I think, back in the 80s. Gosh, I just dated myself, didn't I? When I was going to high school, it was like the band geeks. But I didn't care. I was so in love with music that I couldn't live without it. And that was like, you know, getting to learn how to play it and create it was such a freeing experience. And it just like you're right, it changes everything. But it does also give you discipline and a different outlook on things.
Absolutely. I agree with all of that 100%. Uh, yeah.
So
And
you play with you play
it's,
with a lot of people, don't you, around town?
yeah, yeah. I think that band room gave me a really firm foundation to kind of like reverse engineer all that music theory into like strings, whether it be, I play a lot of lap steel and dobro, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and it's cool once you understand the rules of the road. You can grab all those different things and you can just like sit in with all your buddies. Like tonight, Chris Harp is playing up at the Hot Box. The new Hot Box Pizza is opening up tonight. It's the grand opening out in Holiday Island, and I don't know any of Chris's tunes, and all the changes perfect. You know what I mean? But once you understand a little bit of it, uh, you can just go and sit in with your buddy at this grand opening, which is really a cool thing to do. So it's like when you put the work in as a kid in grade school or high school in the band room, and it's not so cool because you're, a band kid or whatever. Once you get out, you're the person they want at the party. You know what I mean? And that's awesome because then you get to
Exactly.
facilitate this amazing thing for people. You kind of become a conduit between this thing that's so much bigger than you and the people that need it. And what an honorable thing to be able to do. And that's what you do, Kenny. I don't know if any of y'all have seen Kenny and Jackson play, but shit's amazing. I don't know if I can say the S
Oh,
word on
thank you,
here, but
brother.
that it's
Thank you.
amazing, man. What y'all do, it's great.
Thank you. Thank you. But you're right. It is about part of being. It's about being part of something bigger than just yourself or just whoever you're on stage with, because you're not only affecting. Um, it's not just affecting you. What you do is affecting everyone in that crowd. Your partners on the stage, and it's like I've said before, it's like this huge, constant velocity machine of us putting out energy, and the crowd, eating it up and giving it right back to us, so we can put it back out to them. It's constantly recycling, that sort of thing. And there's
Yeah.
nothing like being a part of that sort of feeling on stage. I think when you can get up there and
Yeah.
really touch people with what you're doing.
Yeah. It's pretty humbling, in my opinion. It's
It is.
to give somebody that kind of experience. And what's crazy is when you're a musician, people are like looking at you and they think like, oh, it's just so easy, you're doing it. But it's literally like those lightning bolts that you're feeling of energy, like I'm feeling that too. Like it's trying to ride that horse. Like it's hard to hang on sometimes, and sometimes you play like crap because the energy just throws you right off. But sometimes you can make it happen, and it's really, really cool when you can. And like you said, people
That
feel
one little
that.
magic moment.
It's all it takes, man. And the whole thing just turns around, and it's like all the past 15 minutes of jams or whatever, like, and we couldn't get there. It doesn't even matter because we're here now, and the room just came together. Everybody just got a fresh beer, a nice hot meal delivered to them. It's like all this energy just kind of clicks, and it's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you like I said, you play with a lot of different people around town. You have, and you were involved in that really cool jam night that was going on last summer out at Beaver at Sidebar, which is the new Hot Box is the extension of that now, or the reiteration of that on Holiday Island, and that was such a room full of talented people, like every night. I mean, it was insane the amount of talent that would be in that space or on that deck. And so do you think that affected you? I mean, like in like your, I mean, I know it always helps us to get better by playing with good people. But did it affect the way that you approached music at all? Like as far as like picking up, pointers for I mean, we don't ask for pointers, do we? We just kind of follow along and go,
right,
that's cool, I want to try that out. You know what I mean? But did it affect like your style?
Yes and yes. So I think like it affected me in a way that I like to play, and it happened to be a great, my wife Shannon and our kids Tucker and Cassidy, they could all come, and there's the day use area that was out there, and they could chill and hang out with and socialize, and I could just play music with my buddies. And it was funny because COVID had just kind of happened and shut all gigging down. So we all desperately wanted that. I wasn't necessarily gigging as much as everybody else was. But then I got to finally start rubbing shoulders with all my contemporaries and all my friends. And they were like, oh shit, hey, hey man, so it really made me approach playing with my friends with a little bit more, I don't want to say like seriousness, but like a reverence, you know what I mean? Like, because I got to witness like the potential of like what could be created, you know what I mean? So I kind of, when I play with people now, I kind of treat it as like kind of like Derek Trucks said, you kind of treat the stage like it's sanctified. When you go to play, you want something to happen. It doesn't have to happen, but like when I play with people now, because of the Sidebar and the Beavertown jams, I have more of a reverence for it. And it's like, because I've seen what can fucking happen, and it's awesome.
It is.
As far as my playing style, I think it pushed me more in a cosmic country kind of Bakersfield kind of sound, like a Flying Burrito Brothers, New Riders of the Purple Sage kind of thing. It got me into that really phased out Telecaster sound, that really psychedelic chromatic lap steel. And so it pushed me a lot, which, by the way, folks, I play a 1957 Fender Champ lap steel. That is, where's the camera? This way? That guy's. I don't know. It's Kenny's, and it's awesome. And he just kicked it down to me. He's like, yeah, I don't play it. Here you go. It's mine. It's yours. Well, it's ours, and just play it.
Ulterior motives. Awesome, dude. You're gonna have to play that thing on stage with us, and in the studio.
It's his fault, people. It's his fault. I was just playing dobro, and then he was like, "Hey, you want an electric dobro?"
Minding his own business.
Very cool.
Yeah. So you've played with a bunch of really great people around here, like Sky Pollard. You guys have jammed together a little bit there, haven't you? Over at did you guys play together over at Gravel Bar? Not too long ago. Where was, I guess it was a few months ago.
Yeah. So
is that what we
do a lot of here's some stuff, I guess. Yeah. There's a really cool, they call it the family jam. up at the gravel bar, the Wanderoo Motel. It's every other Sunday, and Sky hosts it most of the time, and it's really cool because it's kind of like David and Ethan, the guys that own the Wanderoo, they kind of wanted to perpetuate that like sidebar energy because we had nowhere to go, because it became such an awesome thing that we just all loved, and that camaraderie, and it was just like this local jam thing. So they opened up their venue to all of us, and Sky does that every other Sunday. So yeah, we actually we got to know each other at the sidebar, and then me and Joel Walker, we had talked about forming this like funky blues band, and he was like, all right, I got this guitar player, Joe Grogan, I'm gonna get Joe. And I was like, I got a singer, I'm gonna get Sky. So I went and got Sky, and we got Dan Redmond in on it, and we started a band called the Family Holler, Sky Pollard and the Family Holler. With me being a business owner and a family guy, we were making enough waves to where I needed to get out because I have too many other
Right.
responsibilities and stuff. And it was like one phone call, and it was like these cats had 6 gigs, and it was I'm so proud of them, and I'm so happy that I got to be part of the beginnings and the startings of that, and yeah, it's been amazing. And a lot of it came from the sidebar. It came from those, Stephanie and Mia's, hospitality and the timing, that the world worked just so to where it happened, it was super cool. So
yeah.
I've been super lucky, just being a family man and a business owner, just to rub shoulders with all these groovy cats, man.
Well, you're definitely going to be getting back out there and doing it more often. I know you are.
Oh
You
yeah.
cannot resist.
Oh yeah.
And gosh, what a stage full of talent. When you get all of those guys together with you and everyone else there. So we have a little clip here, and I think this is Sky Pollard and the Family Holler.
Yeah. So this was this was the inaugural jam that they had done. And you can see Damian Siska on keyboards there. He kind of took my spot. And yeah, it was a good time. Kind of sounds like Mario in my earphones.
Yeah, that patio was rocking that night, wasn't it?
The ironing board. I used to keep that lap steel on an ironing board.
That is the best lap steel stand I have ever heard of. Was the antique ironing board, and I cannot wait for you to join me and Jackson on stage, and play that. And we've got some tracks that we want you to play in the studio too. And now you're about to start building your own album, where you said you've got about an album's worth of material that is ready to go in the can, right?
Yeah, I've been working on, how it is when you write songs. You write 1 or 2, and then you get back to life, and then and then after a while you turn around and it's like, oh crap, I got a pile of songs here. I ought to brush up and put on wax, And so another one of the groovy things about being here in Eureka, and not just here in Eureka, but Northwest Arkansas or the Ozarks region, is I can call Kyle, right now and be like, hey man, I need you to do a harp track. I'm like, all right, yes, it's 2 hours from Springfield, but I'm coming down this weekend anyway. So, or, Sky to do vocals, or you to do vocals, or, it's pretty amazing. So that's kind of what I want to do with it. It's my own stuff out of my own life experiences, my own mistakes, my own victories. But I want to use my brothers and sisters. I mean, there's so much good talent here, and everybody is such a good person, and so good. It's like, man, I just want to use everybody, and whether I put
Yeah,
the
I mean,
album out
include
or
them, you
not.
know.
It's yeah, just let's have fun because that's what making music around here is. It's just a bunch of friends getting together and figuring out our chord changes and start, and it
Oh
always works
yeah.
out. It always works out.
You know,
It's so cool.
after getting into the after getting into this music scene finally, I was here for about a year and I didn't really get into I didn't know anyone in the music scene coming from Fayetteville. Took about a year to get into it, but I swear ever since then it has been like living in Laurel Canyon in 1969. Literally,
Bam.
you like back then you had the Mamas and the Papas and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, you had Joni Mitchell and all these amazing artists
Right.
who were living there and they were all jamming with each other, and then God knows what
Dude.
else, but well, that's a different show. Uh, but that's what it kind of
Yeah.
feels like here is when everybody gets together and pulls together and like says, hey, you know what, let's I need this track on my new album, and somebody's gonna step up and like tear it to pieces, burn it down, you know.
Right.
That's
And what's
such a
cool
great
is,
resource to have.
yeah, and you don't just have like one good guitar player in town that you can call for a session. You know what I mean? It's not like Tommy T at Capitol Records is the only guy that's there and you got to pay him triple rate. No, it's not. It's like
Right.
you got this kind of style and the guy's really good at it, and you got this kind of style and this guy's really good at that. Same thing with bass, or hell, you can call Patty and she'll throw down some jazzy clarinet for you. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
it's great.
yes.
You have so many options and options beyond options, and it's this, like we were talking about earlier. It's like that smelting pot of everything kind of coming together:
Yes.
country, blues, bluegrass, traditional music, new stuff that's going on because of all this crossroads action. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah. Hybrids.
it's pretty awesome.
So you guys
Yeah.
chime in and comment with us if you got any questions for Dan. And I know some of you guys have seen him out and about and playing. He is amazing. There's Wesley. Hey Wesley, thank you, brother.
What's up, Wes?
And we got another clip of Dan doing some guitar work here in just a second. It's good to hear from you, Wes. But yeah, so you guys just like chime in and enter to, all you got to do is chime in and we'll enter you in our drawing for the $20 Apple Music gift card for the month of June. And
Yeah.
you can, and please, like us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube and or Twitter. We love for you guys to check in and see what we're up to. So what is this next clip that we've got here? This is just you kind of jamming, isn't it, Dan?
Is
That is there another clip of you just like jamming some tunes?
there was a couple of clips that I had sent for Melody to use. I don't know what's coming up, but surprises are nice.
Do it. Much like the majestic rhino in is in repose. I'm not fond of surprises. That's it. Yeah. I don't know. Do we have another clip, Melody? Maybe not. Anyway, so you guys, so you know what? To hell with the clip. You can go check out this fella tonight at the grand opening of Hotbox out on Holiday Island. Oh, the link was bad. So sorry for that, folks. We did have another clip. So what time does the fun start out there tonight?
So my phone says that it is 4:23, and Chris is playing from 5 to 8 for the grand opening, and then I have my gear out in the truck, but I have to go present a big project to the HDC and Planning Commission tonight down at the Odd, which is going to be awesome because I'm going to be building a really awesome big rock wall right in the middle of downtown. It's going to add a lot of beautiful sweat equity to the town. Nice. So I might make it out there
while you rock it up, right?
Yeah, I'll definitely have the DeWalt radio cranked up for sure. If you hear some dead tunes or some bluegrass or some funk, it's just me. Don't worry, it'll be fine. But yeah, hopefully I can get out of there soon enough to go sit in with Chris for a little bit and make some music for sure. I think Shannon's going to
Man,
bring
I'm
the kids out
really,
there.
really excited. That's a great place about their place. It was out at Beaver, and the new one too is it's kid friendly, family
Super kid
friendly.
friendly.
You can bring the youngins and just like have an evening. And there's so little of that to be had around here. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I love our music scene, but a lot of it is definitely you can't bring the kiddos, and it's
Yeah.
important. As you know, I mean, I know
It
Tucker.
is.
He loves some music.
Yeah, he does.
There was
Yeah.
some video of him hanging out with me and Jackson one day, I think, here at my house, and he was playing piano, and that was just the sweetest thing ever. With him jamming
Yeah.
along, and he was getting into it. So I mean, and
Yeah,
it's
he
great that you're
does.
exposing them to that, you know, at such a wonderful and it is always our pleasure to create a great music scene, Wes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Dan
Yeah.
is a huge part of that. I mean, and that's what this show is about, really, is kind of like introducing the folks that we don't necessarily get to meet all the time, who are on stage and entertaining us and keeping Eureka, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
just what it is. It's a state of mind, and it's a
Yeah.
state of life.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely more one of the behind the scenes kind of players right now, doing the kids and running the business kind of thing. Yeah, but like you said, it's gonna ease up a little bit and I'll get out there a little bit more. But uh yeah, big shout out to everybody. One of my good friends here in town, Mike Hopper, he is a killer telly player. Uh just all around good person, acoustic player, bass player, lap steel player, pedal steel player. Uh just all around great guy. So if anybody's looking for like some really cool, like a new picker to check out that you really enjoy, that you'll probably really enjoy, check out Mike Hopper. You can find him on Facebook. He goes by Doc Hopper. Yes, I'm pimping you out, Mikey. Yes, I am. He plays with Opal and the Sweet Nothings. Saw him sit in with
I
Eureka
love those
Strings
guys.
this weekend out at. Oh yeah, that band was born out of the sidebar. It was nothing but
Oh
people
wow.
getting together, and Bear was just like, "Hey, let's just form a band and just like do this at Chelsea's and get paid for it." Uh,
I told you it's like Laurel
so that's
Canyon
how
in
that started.
1969, man. They're just hanging out. You're just hanging out, and the next thing you know, you're on stage. You would have eaten. Can you hear me, there, Dan? No. Oh no. Well, I can't hear you. It seems like
Can't hear Kenny.
there you are. I can hear you.
I
You
can't,
can't hear me though.
I can't hear you, Kenny. I can see your beautiful frozen face right here, but I can't hear you. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I guess that we're having a little technical difficulties. So, Dan, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell everybody how much you love them, Dan, and to check you out wherever they can find you out in Eureka Springs, because you truly are an amazingly talented fellow and a good friend and a true Eurekan.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys so much for joining us today here on Sounds of Eureka with Kenny Ray Jackson. Please check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And look out for announcements for our next show, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks with our next guest. And you guys, you can always chime in on those reviews on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or on here, and just make a comment, and we'll enter you into our drawing for a $20 Apple Music gift card for the month of June, which will, of course, be drawn in July. And our gift card winner again today was Mickey Bulla. And thank you so much, Mickey, for checking us out last month. And we will be contacting you shortly with how to get your special prize to you. So thank you guys so much for another lovely afternoon. I'm Kenny Ray Jackson. This is the Eureka Springs channel. Check us out for all of the knowins and the doings and goings on in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Thank you guys.